Hey, what's going on, everyone? Decided to do this. Really wasn't planning on doing it. I've just had a lot of questions over the last day or two. Didn't know I was going to get them all, and I appreciate them. It's easier if I just did it this way rather than I've been answering all of them. But everyone's been wondering uh, when I'm fishing next year. And the reason is because the FLW just announced the tour roster and my name's not on it. So I kind of want to let y'all in on kind of what's going on. Um, it was a lot of things happened, with the whole MLF FLW buyout, and with everything going on, sponsors are changing. It's just kind of chaos, to be honest with you. And I've been kind of wrapped up in the middle of it all. But I'm okay with everything that's been going on. I've just really been trying to focus on what I should be doing and everything. So with that being said, I decided not to fish the tour. Um, I'm not gonna lie, like, and y'all know me, man. I'm not gonna sit up here and give y'all just these answers I think that a lot of people give. I didn't really know. I didn't really like the way that it was going, to be honest with you, and I wasn't really sure. How it was going to look. I don't really think I know how it's going to look now or within a year or two. And so, the price kept on going up to now 40,000, and the payout didn't go up. I mean, and it's just content since I've been there and since I've seen over the years, it just keeps heading in that direction. And I had a pretty good year last year. I had pretty good for the last 2 years that I fished. I've made the cut both years. Um, Gotten quite a few checks and stuff, and the way it's going, I mean, I just don't. I could have the same year and qualify for the cup and lose money. And I got to be honest with you. I mean, I didn't get in this industry in the sport to do that. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to be a professional in a sport, um, do better than three-quarters of the field and lose money at the end of the year. And I'm pretty tight with money, so I mean, it's not like I'm going out there spending a lot of money on stuff. I mean, basically just on entry fees, and the expenses are a very little part of it. I'm just not gonna make any money. Like, I'm gonna lose money, and I don't get that. So um, and let's be honest, the tour's a triple A. It's not the highest level anymore. So it kind of left me at a weird crossroad, and I mean, I thought about it a long ways. And the great thing about how I've made my living, I never needed the tour to make a living. I never went that route, because a lot of times financially it never made sense. So I've looked at the landscape of everything going on, and man, I really want to go try to be a Bassmaster Elite. So I'm gonna fish all the opens this year. Is pretty much what I'm gonna do. Um, Financially, does it make a lot of sense? No, not really. But I do like the end goal, and the end goal is I do want to fish on that Bassmaster stage. I do want to fish. I do like their format. I do like everything that they're trying to do. Is it perfect? No. Um, I don't think any of it's really perfect, but um, I still think it gives me a good opportunity. I'm trying to. I What's cool about fishing the elites too, or the opens to get to the elites, is I still now get to fish everything back home. I wasn't allowed to do that when I fished the tour. And actually, over the past couple of weeks, I fished a couple local tournaments and done pretty good in them. And man, I love those things. I love team tournaments. I love getting to fish every weekend. I love fishing back home. I never got to fish back home. Um, Man, I loved all these lakes around Texas and around my region. And fishing team tournaments is, to be honest with me, still more fun than fishing individual events. Like the guys I fish with, like Jason Bonds and Russell Cecil, and a couple other buddies, Brent Kelly, when I get a chance to, like, those are really fun events, man. I have a blast with them. I might not make a ton of money on some of them, um, but they're still way more fun. So that's kind of what I'm going to go do. All right, so that's my plan. I don't know how well it's going to work out. I think I'll be all right. Um, all my sponsors, most of them are still on board. They are fine with the decision. I'm not going it alone. My buddy Bradley Hallman and me will be rooming together, and maybe even some other twists. We might be hanging out with a couple other guys that are leaving the tour and fishing the opens. So it'll be different, but it'll be fun just the same. I've already got most of my schedule lined out. Uh, like I said, I mean, I look at this. Uh, I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I hear this word thrown out there all the time, and it's this dream everyone wants to do is to fish. And I mean, when I grew up, it really wasn't a dream to fish. I just wanted to fish for a living. And I just figured I just didn't know how to do it. Like I just tried to do everything I could possibly do to keep on fishing the next week. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I've done that for years. Like I just fished a tournament to survive to fish the next week, to survive to fish the next week. That's what I've done my whole life. That's why I fished more tournaments than anyone else in the country for numerous years in a row. Um, and and it wasn't always easy, man. It was really hard. It's still hard. I mean, it's still hard traveling, being away that long, um, and fishing the way we do, fishing that many tournaments. Um, it's work. It's work. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of time spent in weird places and hotel rooms. And if anyone thinks that practice fishing is always fun, I mean, you're out there fishing in horrible conditions a lot of times, and you don't actually catch any fish. So, when you spend days on the water without actually catching a fish because you shake them off or do whatever, don't get me wrong, I love it. But I mean, I still have to look at it as it's not something where I just get to, like some of these guys, just go fish 8 tournaments a year and call it a job. I mean, that's not how I can make it. So that's my situation that I'm in, and so I'm gonna fish the opens. I'm gonna fish a lot back home. I'm still gonna fish some, I don't know what they're called now, FLW series or whatever they are. I get to fish maybe a couple of them, some BFLs, some Texas team trails, bass, all this stuff. Um, so I'll still have that going on, which will be cool for any of my YouTube stuff. My YouTube stuff's gonna go. I'm gonna have videos like crazy now because I'm gonna probably fish 2 or 3 times as much as I did this year. So, anyways, that's where it's at. I wish some guys on tour luck this year. I'm just looking to go to a different route. And like I said, the route I'm going, I had to really look at myself in the mirror, and it wasn't hard. It was an easy decision in the fact of, even if I made it to the MLF, man, that style doesn't fit me. I mean, I grew up in Texas. I grew up a guy throwing big baits, sight fishing, topwater fishing, frog fishing. I mean, a lot of y'all know how I fish. I mean, and that's what I got good at. That's what I grew up doing. That's what I've spent my whole life trying to figure out. And so it just fits my style. And I've never been a guy that goes out there and catches a whole bunch of fish. To be honest with you, I've never even tried. I mean, that's just not something I've ever thought about doing. Even when I was young, catching a ton of fish didn't really intrigue me. I mean, I always was just trying to catch a big fish. And it's not just the whole big fish thing. It was just, I just like that style. Everything I do that I've done really, really well, and especially like sight fishing, I mean, it translates to that. It translates absolutely nowhere on the other format. So with that being said, and like I said, I qualified for the elites years ago, my first year trying, and I didn't have the money or any help or nothing. I mean, I was in a 10-year-old boat and a 8-year-old truck, and I I don't regret not going. I couldn't go. I mean, there was no. It wasn't like it was the decision that I made. I mean, I couldn't fit, literally go because I didn't have the money or the means or whatever, and I was okay with that. That was something that the Lord had in store for me and stuff, and so it wasn't hard to turn it down. But I don't want to turn it down if I make it again. So I think I'm a little bit more prepared, a little bit more ready, and so I'm gonna try to see if I can make it again. And I might not. It's gonna be a hard road. There's a lot of guys, and they're only taking a very, very few guys to go do it. So, but man, this is what I do. This is, I mean, I've always tried to qualify for everything. Anyways, I've qualified for the tour just about every year. I know I don't have to re-qualify, but I still always usually do in the coastas. So I mean, it's one of those things that's like I've always had to do it. It seems like every time I qualify for something, it gets taken away. So that's pretty crazy, isn't it? So anyways, I'm gonna still go try to do it. And hopefully if I qualify this time, maybe it'll be here to stay, and I can do this a little bit longer than 2 years, like I did the last 2 years on tour. But we'll see. But anyways, I want everyone to let everyone know what I was doing, and I appreciate all the questions and wondering where I'm going to be, and hopefully a lot of y'all can follow along and see if I can do it this year on the Opens. Anyways, see y'all. Thanks.